Good evening. Let's start out with the good morning, good evening, whenever you're listening to this. Let's start out with the need a little more light in there in my face. Let's start out with what's new for day 4 of shutdown online learning lesson plans. You are going to get a couple of ed puzzle videos. Pretty straightforward, actually. You look here, like this is number 1. There's some questions, some multiple choice questions. On the second one, there is a little more open-ended questions, one of which is, of course, a review. The first one is a review of British imperialism and the period that's the Raj, focus on the Raj, which is the period that is direct colonial rule as a result of the Sepoy Mutiny. This second part is back to a little bit of review on Africa, as we've been looking at Africa, as well as focused on Central Africa, the Belgian Congo, and King Leopold of Belgium's cruel rule over the Belgians and how that played out. So that's those are due on Tuesday night, and there will be another one posted that has to do with. Let me go back into my videos here. There will be another one that's upcoming that has to do with the Sepoy Rebellion, and that will be due on Thursday along with something else, but I will post it shortly if you wish to get ahead. This one's not due right away, but I will post it if you wish to get ahead. And this is a movie that was focused on a main character, and the Sepoy, based on a true story about the Sepoy Mutiny. Again, the mutiny that was caused by the British forcing the trigger being that the British were forced to have a the British were forced, the Hindus and the Muslim soldiers, to use animal fat in their rifles, and that was one thing that triggered it. And this focuses on that, a little bit of review on that. So for the time being, this week we're sneaking up. You probably notice we're nearing the end of this unit. For the time being, we're not going to have a formal test. How an assessment will look, if it does look like anything, will be addressed when we get more clarity from, well, frankly, the state of Michigan, how this is all going to look. Will we out of school longer? We don't know. We don't have any idea. I'm recording this last night at 12:43, as you can see on my screen. Governor has a press conference tomorrow at 11 a.m. She could say something different after this is recorded. I don't know. We don't know. It's all very fluid. It's the way this is going. So we'll play it by ear as we go along. But there's no test planned for this week as we go along. And that's part of the reason for these ed puzzle videos, is to give you a sense of a review of what we've talked about. The Scramble for Africa slide was due today. Remember, we watched the video is due today. Remember, I gave you a bunch of videos of people, and you were supposed to watch their videos and fill out slide 37 in the notebook, as well as primary sources from the perspective of Indians and the perspective of the British, in terms of during direct rule, the Raj, direct versus indirect. After the Sepoy Mutiny, it becomes direct, because the Sepoy Mutiny shows the Crown that the British East India Company can no longer control or run operations, and that was the idea behind this perspective. You're answering this in a color other than black. as we go along here. Perspectives on imperialism there. And then remember the deal that I talked about on Friday, the nationalism test corrections. I backed them up. Most of you got them done. I'm going to tell you that if you need to make them more thorough to get your 4 points of corrections, and if you're clear about what I'm talking about, there's a video in the nationalism test corrections. If you're unclear, go back to that. Go back and look at that. And that's due on Tuesday. That was actually supposed to be Thursday, and I had backed it up. Most of you got that done. The overdue assignment is that British imperialism in India form reading questions that was introducing you to British imperialism and the Sepoy Mutiny. I've given you Sepoy Mutiny, British imperialism about 4 different ways: the notes, in the notebook, through various activities. Hopefully, you've got the general idea if you've done things. That'll be the next thing I actually look at in the grade book. I did change. I'll make a note. I did change that because of the way that I erased the nationalism test corrections actually being an assignment and tell you that it was just a bonus with test points, potential up to 4 test points. I did erase that as a number. So I renumbered a little bit, and I made the British imperialism in reading thing number 14. And you can answer that as many times as you want. So focus for this week for right now. 3 if you want to get ahead, and then focusing on finishing up your slides for today, and then this for Tuesday night. Again, the videos won't take you very long. The first video, the British Raj video, is very easy. It's very basic overview. The imperialism in the Congo, you have to answer a few more open-ended questions. I'm not going to grade them too hard. Just be in the right range.